Hi, this is week 4's workout. So you've made it this far. This week we're only going to concentrate on the TRX and kettlebell exercises. So I'm going to go right down the list just as it is in your binder. We're going to start with kettlebell swings and TRX bodyweight rows and just go right down the list so you can follow it on your book. I don't know what page it is, but you do. So this is week 4, kettlebells and TRX. The first exercise on our list is the kettlebell swing. So when I'm doing this, I need you guys to choose at least a 20-pound kettlebell. So when I do this, I usually use a 30 or a 35. If you're feeling really strong, you can go up to 40. This is an exercise that you can go much heavier than you think with. This is also a lot about form. So I'm going to explain how we start this out, and then there's a little bit of a progression. So when you hold the kettlebell like so, your feet are going to be slightly wider than your hips. Your toes can turn out a little bit if you want to. And then the basic movement behind a kettlebell swing is to start just with a squat. So my chest stays up, my weight stays in my heels, and I begin to squat. So if this is no big deal, then I know that I'm safe to add the swing in. So when I swing, I'm actually going to let my hands go between my legs and then up right to shoulder level. Okay? You can come all the way up, but you don't have to. I'm totally fine with shoulder level, and this is all about chest up. I can see ahead. So side view here. I start with my squat. Chest stays up, weights in my heels. And then when I add the swing, I really let it swing through. Open my hips at the top of the motion. Okay? So that's going to be your basic kettlebell swing. The next exercise on our list is the TRX bodyweight row. So we're simply using our body weight as a back exercise here. When you're adjusting the TRX, you want to make sure that the straps are fully shortened. So I depress the lever here, pull up on the yellow tab, make sure that I've got these as short as they can go. So to get set up for the bodyweight row, I'm going to come back so that there's tension and I feel safe. I'm going to walk my feet out as far as I can, and I'm simply going to pull up. I can keep my elbows really close to my ribs. I can take them out at a midway point, or I could turn this into a high pull by keeping my elbows as high as my shoulders. So there's 3 variations with the arms: a low pull, a mid pull, and a high pull for the TRX bodyweight row. Eventually, you're going to want to get your feet underneath the anchor when you're doing this exercise, so the more advanced version would be down here further. Okay? So that's the bodyweight row. Next on our list, we're back to the TRX for squats and lunges. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the whole progression here. So when we start out with squats on the TRX, it's just like bodyweight squats. I come back a little bit off my center of gravity, my weight stays in the heels, and using the TRX, I'm able to really get a deeper range of motion because I have a little bit of help to come back up. So I start out with my basic squats, my knees stay over my ankles, and then that's level 1. Level 2 is going to be taking it into a one-leg squat or a pistol squat. So I'm going to take one leg up front, and then I'm going to come down on the other leg, come back up. So eventually I want to think about not even using the TRX, but it's there as a tool right now. So that's our level 2. Level 3 is adding plyo to this. So I would take it into a squat jump. So I'd squat nice and low, and jump. So that's going to be your level 3. So to take it into a lunge variation, all I'm going to do here is start out like I was going to do a pistol squat by balancing on one foot, but then I'm going to take one leg behind. So when I'm here, and you remember this from class, my knee is coming down right behind the other ankle. So it's almost like a curtsy lunge. So I come down, back up, down, back up. So I would do as many as I'm going to do on one side and then switch sides. So those are your TRX squats, pistol squats, plyo squats, and lunges. Next on our list, we have the kettlebell one-arm row. So you may have already done this with a dumbbell. We're just going to use the kettlebell because we've already used it for the swings. It's right here. It's super easy. Again, I'm going heavier than I think I might be able to, at least 20 pounds. Again, this is an exercise for your back, big muscle group. So to do a one-arm row, if I'm going to do it on my right arm, I'm going to bend my left leg. I can support my body weight a little bit here with my hand. All I'm doing is picking up the weight. Now I'm going to make sure my shoulders are facing the ground and my lower body is nice and soft. Abs are tight to protect my back, and I'm going to pull up and squeeze. So my elbow is still super close to my ribs, and I lower it down. Exhale as I pull up. Inhale as I lower it down. So this is a pretty slow and controlled exercise. And then I'll switch sides. Right knee, right hand. Back is nice and flat, abs are tight. Big squeeze, and lower slow. So that's your kettlebell one-armed row. Moving on to a chest exercise now, we're going to do a chest press on the TRX. So this is a lot like doing your push-ups, just suspended in the air. For this exercise, I like to have the straps long. So they're good, depressing the lever and just pulling down here. So I've got nice long straps. I'm going to orient myself so I'm standing facing away from the anchor. So when you do a push-up against a wall, it's pretty easy. Push-up on the floor, not so much. Same principle applies here. The more I am to upright, this is pretty easy. I don't have to push a lot of my body weight away. The further back I bring my feet, the harder this becomes until I'm all the way down here, and this is significantly more challenging. If the straps are on your arms and you don't like that, all you have to do is lift your hands up a little bit and they come right off. So this is my chest press on the TRX. I bring my thumbs really, really close to my shoulders and press away, just like push-up. Moving down our list, we have kettlebell deadlifts. So the same general principle applies to any deadlift, whether we're using a barbell, dumbbells, whatever. The kettlebell, what we're going to do is keep our feet right underneath our hips. So the principles being, we're going to keep soft knees and the weights in our heels and a flat back the whole entire time. It's important to keep your core nice and tight so you protect your lower back on this one. So I've chosen a weight that I can use for all of these exercises. So the swing, the row, the deadlift, I'm pretty much using the same weight here, although I could go heavier with this one if I wanted to. So here's my start position. I've got perfect posture, shoulders are back, my knees are soft, my weight's going to be in my heels, and I'm just simply going to lower this weight down right over my shoelaces. My weight's in my heels, hips go back, and then I stand up driving through my heels. So that's your deadlift with the kettlebells. Pretty basic. Weight stays over those shoelaces, knees stay soft, back stays flat. What I don't want to have happen is this. Okay? That's really hard on your lower back. So every time you come up, reset, chest is high, weights in the heels. There's your kettlebell deadlift. Back to the TRX we go for the T's, Y's, and I's. So when I coach you guys on this one, I always tell you to start in your end position. So when I'm starting in my end position for the T's, Y's, and I's, I want to be standing away but facing the anchor. And when I put my arms out, I have tension. Arms are straight out of the T, tension, tension on the straps. So this is going to be my into position, and now I know I can go ahead and start. So going down into my T, from my T, I'm going to lower down, straight arms, like that, my body's still in plank. I'm going to pull myself up into that T, squeezing behind my shoulders. Lowering down again, straight arms. I'm going to pull up to a Y. My palms are facing away. And then lower slow. Now my thumbs come close together, my palms face away, and up I go into my I. There's always tension on the straps. So once again, there's my T, lower slow, there's my Y, lower slow, there's my I, lower slow. T's, Y's, and I's. Moving on to core exercises, we're going to do a kettlebell get-up, also known as a Turkish get-up. But because I have chosen a really heavy kettlebell for the earlier exercises, I'm going to drop down to a lighter dumbbell to show you this exercise. So if you don't have a kettlebell, no big deal, you can always just use a dumbbell. So the Turkish get-up is going to start lying down on the floor. So if you're using your right hand, you're also going to keep your right knee bent, okay? So from here, I'm going to raise up onto my elbow, and then my hand, lift my hips. I'm going to windshield wiper my left leg under, and then I'm going to come down, and then I'll switch sides. So if my left hand is up, my left knee is bent, I'm going to come up on my right elbow, bend my right hand, lift my hips, swing my right leg underneath, and straight up. Just the same way. So initially you might want to try this without any weights, and just be patient, it's actually hard. So that is the kettlebell or Turkish get-up. So last on our list, we're going to do the TRX kneeling rollout. How I get oriented for this, I need to double my mat underneath my knees because I'm placing all my weight on my knees here. The straps are adjusted so that as I'm kneeling here, there's gentle pressure on my palms, but my arms can fully extend. All I'm going to do here is sail on out, keeping my arms straight. But here's the story. You need to be able to keep your ears, shoulders, hips, and knees in one straight line. So I'll show you what this looks like. The kneeling rollout, I'm just going to sail on out here and then pull back in. So the mistake that a lot of people make as they start to go out, they do this and their line collapses. So always a straight line, ears, shoulders, hips, and knees. Keep your spine neutral. You don't want to be looking up or looking around. Everything stays neutral. Pulling it back in, and make sure that your butt stays in line with the rest of your body. That's the TRX kneeling rollout.